There is awe in silence that few people understand. When someone disrespects you, the immediate urge is to speak up, to defend yourself, to make them see that you are not someone to be treated that way. But true strength is not in the words you say, it is in the restraint you show. A person who can remain quiet in the face of disrespect is not weak, they are wise. They know that their dignity is not dependent on the approval or recognition of others. Look at the world today. Everywhere you turn, people are quick to respond, quick to retaliate, quick to let their anger be heard. But what does that accomplish? Does it change the heart of the one who disrespected you? Does it bring peace to your spirit? More often than not, it does the opposite. It fuels the fire. It drags you into a battle that never needed to be fought. It robs you of your joy. But when you choose to stay quiet, when you choose to rise above the moment, you are showing something far greater than strength. You are showing wisdom. Think of a tree standing firm in the middle of a storm. The wind howls, the rain pours down, but the tree does not waste its energy fighting back against the storm. It simply stands. And when the storm passes, the tree remains. That is the power of silence. It allows you to stand firm while the storm of someone else's anger or disrespect rages around you. It allows you to keep your peace when others try to take it away. It allows you to remain unmoved by the fleeting opinions of others. The world may tell you that silence is weakness, that if you do not speak up, you are letting someone walk all over you. But silence is not the absence of power. It is the evidence of it. It takes far more strength to hold your tongue than to let it loose. It takes far more discipline to walk away from a fight than to engage in one. And it takes far more confidence to know who you are in God than to feel the need to prove it to someone else. Jesus himself showed us this. When he was insulted, mocked, and falsely accused, he did not respond with anger. He did not try to prove who he was. He simply remained silent because he knew the truth. He knew that no amount of words could change the hearts of those who had already chosen not to see. And in his silence, he showed the greatest strength the world has ever known. You see, when you stay quiet after disrespect, you are not letting someone win. You are showing them that their words hold no weight in your life. You are choosing peace over pride, wisdom over impulse, and dignity over reaction. There is nothing more powerful than that. So the next time someone disrespects you, take a deep breath. Remember who you are. And remember that your worth is not determined by what others say to you, but by what God says about you. And if their words do not align with his, then they are not worth your time. Let silence be your response, let grace be your shield, and let your life be the proof of your strength. And when the storm passes, as it always does, you will still be standing. Not every battle is worth fighting. That is a hard lesson for many to learn, because the world teaches us to defend ourselves at every turn, to prove our worth to those who question it, to stand up and respond to every insult that comes our way. But if we live like that, constantly feeling the need to engage in every conflict, we will soon find ourselves drained, distracted, and pulled away from the greater purpose that God has for us. There will always be people who misunderstand you, who challenge you, who speak to you with disrespect. But what do you gain by responding to every single one of them? If a person has already made up their mind to insult you, to tear you down, then no amount of arguing, no amount of words will change their heart. And if their heart is not willing to change, then your response will not bring peace. It will only stir up more conflict. That is why wisdom tells us to be slow to speak, slow to anger, and quick to listen. The enemy wants to pull you into battles that were never meant for you. He wants to see you waste your strength fighting meaningless fights, distracted from the path God has set before you. He knows that if he can get you caught up in every insult, every rude comment, every misunderstanding, then he can keep you from focusing on what truly matters. But when you choose to walk away, when you choose silence over conflict, you are refusing to let him win. You are saying, my peace is worth more than this argument. My calling is greater than this distraction. My time is too precious to waste on this. Look at Jesus. Time and time again, people tested him, challenged him, spoke to him with disrespect. They tried to trap him with their words, to provoke him into arguments. But he did not engage with every accusation. He did not answer every insult. He spoke when wisdom told him to speak, and he remained silent when wisdom told him to stay quiet. He knew that not every battle was his to fight. He was not here to prove himself to people who had already hardened their hearts against him. He was here to fulfill his purpose. And that is what we must do. If you spend your life trying to fight every battle, you will never have the energy to win the ones that truly matter. You will exhaust yourself proving things to people who were never meant to be part of your journey. But when you let go of the need to always have the last word, when you choose peace instead of pride, you free yourself to focus on what God has truly called you to do. Some arguments are nothing more than distractions. Some insults are simply tests of your patience and character. Some battles are not worth your time. And the greatest proof of strength is knowing when to walk away. Because when you refuse to fight a battle that was never meant for you, you are not losing, you are winning in the ways that matter most. So the next time someone disrespects you, ask yourself, is this battle worth my time? Is this fight worth my peace? Or is it better to stay quiet, to rise above, to let my actions speak louder than my words? And when you choose to walk away, know this: you are not giving up. You are standing in wisdom. You are choosing what truly matters, and that is a victory far greater than any argument could ever bring. The world tells us that words are power, that if someone disrespects you, the best thing you can do is respond, defend yourself, make sure they understand who they are dealing with. But true power is not in what you say, it is in how you live. Actions speak louder than words, and the best response to disrespect is not an argument, not a clever comeback, but a life that proves them wrong. When someone speaks against you, when they look down on you, when they question your worth, your first instinct may be to respond, to explain, to fight back. But words are cheap. A person can argue all day, can say whatever they want, but at the end of it all, what truly matters is what is seen, not what is said. You don't have to tell people who you are when your life shows it. You don't have to prove your worth when your actions already confirm it. Think about Jesus. People mocked him, doubted him, questioned everything about him. They demanded he prove himself. They threw insults and accusations, and yet he did not spend his time arguing with them. He didn't waste words trying to explain who he was to people who had already chosen not to believe. Instead, he lived his purpose. He healed the sick. He gave sight to the blind. He raised the dead. He walked in love, in truth, in power. And because of that, his life spoke louder than any words ever could. That is the example we are called to follow. When someone disrespects you, don't waste your breath trying to convince them of your value. Instead, go out and live in such a way that they can't deny it. Let your kindness speak where their insults try to bring you down. Let your integrity shine where their dishonor tries to dim your light. Let your success be the answer to their doubt. Nothing silences an insult like undeniable truth. When someone calls you incapable but you rise to excellence, their words fall empty. When someone says you won't make it but you succeed beyond their expectations, their disrespect loses all power. When someone tries to bring you down but you refuse to stoop to their level, they are left with nothing but their own bitterness. You do not have to fight every battle with words. You do not have to lower yourself to respond to every insult. Your life is the proof of who you are, and nothing speaks louder than that. If you focus on proving people wrong with your actions, you will find that their words begin to mean less and less. Because at the end of the day, people don't remember what was said in an argument, they remember what was done in life. So when someone disrespects you, hold your peace. Walk away with your head high. And then go out and live in such a way that no one can ever question who you are. That is the greatest response. That is the loudest answer. And that is the kind of strength that cannot be ignored. There is a peace that comes when you choose not to engage with every insult, when you refuse to let disrespect pull you into a place of frustration and anger. The world is full of voices, some encouraging, some destructive. And if you are not careful, you will spend your life reacting to the negativity around you instead of protecting the peace within you. Peace is a gift, but it is also a choice. You cannot always control what people say to you. You cannot always prevent others from treating you unfairly, but you can control how you respond. You can decide whether their words will take root in your heart or whether you will let them pass by like the wind. That choice is yours, and it is a choice that defines the direction of your life. When you engage with disrespect, you give it power. You let it affect your emotions, cloud your judgment, and steal your joy. And for what? A moment of satisfaction from speaking your mind? A small victory in an argument that will be forgotten tomorrow? Those things are not worth the price of your peace. What good is winning an argument if it leaves you feeling unsettled? What good is proving a point if it pulls you into the same negativity you were trying to rise above? Jesus walked in perfect peace because he never let the words of others determine his worth. He did not waste time defending himself to those who sought to tear him down. He did not allow their disrespect to disrupt his purpose. He knew who he was, and that knowledge gave him a peace that could not be shaken. And that same peace is available to you, but you must be willing to protect it. You do not need to prove yourself to anyone. You do not need to respond to every criticism. You do not need to lower yourself to meet someone else's level of disrespect. When you stay quiet after being wronged, when you refuse to let the actions of others dictate your emotions, you are not losing, you are winning the battle that truly matters. Because peace is not found in getting the last word. Peace is found in knowing that the last word does not even matter. There will always be people who try to disturb your peace. There will always be those who test your patience, who push your limits, who try to pull you into conflict, but you do not have to go with them. You can choose to stand firm. You can choose to walk away. And in doing so, you will find that the peace of God will guard your heart and mind in a way that no argument ever could. So when the moment comes and you feel the urge to respond, take a step back. Ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Is this worth my energy? Is this worth the distraction? And if the answer is no, then let silence be your response. Let wisdom be your guide, and let your peace remain untouched. Because in the end, the greatest victory is not in the words you speak, but in the peace you refuse to lose.